Now, a study has found that regular use of fish oil supplements was associated with a significant reduction in cognitive decline and brain atrophy in older adults who suffer from Alzheimer's and dementia. Now, with it today being World Alzheimer's Day, we have Andrea du Plessis, our vital expert, to give us some more insight into the matter. And so, Andrea, this study found this relationship between the decline of brain functions and the use of fish oil supplements. Exactly how does that work?
Yes, if you look at Alzheimer's disease, obviously it's the brain tissue which is affected. And if we take a step back to nutrition and understanding the role of the foods we eat in forming and maintaining healthy brain cells, omega-3 fatty acids are always under this discussion because our brain cells are partially made up of the omega-3s we get through our diet. So it doesn't really come as a big surprise then to understand that taking omega-3 in a supplement form and adding that to your diet can help in the maintenance of healthy brain cells. But it is surprising to find these results that it slows down the cognitive decline and atrophy or dying off of brain cells, which is really important and relevant for people that are either at risk of or suffering with Alzheimer's disease.
So by taking these omega fatty acids into your diet, you are basically feeding the brain back what it's losing with age.
Yes, and now that there's clinical evidence of that, we also need to make sure not to make empty promises as people that give out advice and manage expectations. Alzheimer's isn't a disease that can be cured, but it's a condition where they're doing lots of research to try and figure out, can we do something to reduce the risk? Can we slow down the progression? Because with Alzheimer's disease, the key symptoms are memory loss. Now, it sounds like something insignificant, but if you know somebody that suffers with Alzheimer's disease, it has a huge impact on their quality of life. Because there's fear, confusion, memory loss leads to lots of frustration. There are health risks involved, and it also affects the people around that person. So any bit of advice that we can give to help slow down the progression of the disease can make a difference.
And I think very importantly, as you said, there's no cure, but we can try and do as much as possible to help try and kind of prolong the onset if you are at risk. So let's talk about supplementation and what one can do then.
Well, if you look at supplementation, I'm so pleased they called supplements because they are supposed to add on to our dietary intake. So the first step is to look at where in our diet can we obtain these brain nutrients. And I think we've spoken about this about 100 times. But
it can never be said enough.
Omega-3 we find in oily fish and also in nuts. So here you can see quite a big portion of walnuts. They are rich in omega-3. And a small portion of fish, sardines specifically. So not only sardines and walnuts, other fatty fish like salmon, pilchards, etc. are also packed with omega-3s. But most people don't get enough omega-3s through their diets.
Before we do that, I mean, obviously because of seasonal kind of tendencies is that walnuts are readily available. But are we talking only walnuts, or are there other kinds of nuts out there that could also provide us with those omega fatty acids that we need?
Walnuts are particularly high in omega-3s specifically. The next source I would recommend is flax seeds. But if you look at how many flax seeds one would eat, you don't really eat that as a snack. So mixed with other nuts, every little bit helps.
So now that we've taken care of the diet side of things, let's look at supplementation. What can we take to help us get that optimal nutrition?
Vital makes this omega-3 concentrate. So it's a high-strength 1,000 milligram omega-3 supplement. So that's really going to help to up your levels of omega-3 in your diet. It consists of fish oils, and the fish oil omega-3s are always the most potent in feeding the brain cells. So my advice would be to any adult that wants to maintain the brain function and healthy brain cells to take that. And notably, if there's a family history of Alzheimer's disease, or if you already suffer with it, it's something that can only add value.
Fantastic. Andrea, thank you very much. We always appreciate having you here and getting those brainy tips. And in fact, if you have any other questions relating to nutrition that you'd like to get answered, of course, go to Andrea's Facebook page. It's Andrea du Plessis, Vital Expert, and ask all your questions there.
Make abuse a thing of the past. Nominate an organization that fights abuse so they can win 35,000 Rand from the Vital Awards.